All right, hello everyone, and welcome to another amazing CCA set tonight. We're covering a Division 2 set, in fact, for round 3 of the CCA League Season 5. I am Omazen, and today I am joined by Filmopolis. Hello,
Hello there.
Filmopolis, how are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. And yourself?
Alrighty, I'm doing pretty okay myself right now,
Nice.
too. Yeah, we love to see it. So, I don't know about you, Filmopolis, but I am a Purdue student, and I just so happen to know one of these teams. As a result of that, We Aquatic Little Creatures, also known as Walk, is Purdue's current sort of varsity level team, and I think that does speak for itself as they are Division 2 in the CCA
Definitely does.
currently. Yeah. And they've gone through a couple changes. We've kind of noted that the past few weeks when they've come up. But now they're currently being led by their backline Pisto, who typically runs the classic Snipe Rider 5H. And they also have a new member of the team called Vekal. So we're going to be moving into this next set here and seeing what we got cooking.
Alright, that sounds really good. Really excited to see this set.
Yeah. All right, so moving into this match here tonight, we got that classic pencil from Episto, electronic on the Dooley's Clover with the V-Shot, Vekal on that machine, as well as sort of a similar comp on the side of California Rollers. They're battling with the Rainmaker right now as we see both sides just trying to get some mid control. The Roller is starting to move up as well onto the bunker. We see just this continued back and forth in mid right now as Walk is trying to find a pick, and they do find one on that slosher. We see the crab coming out too now as well.
Let's go with the bubbler.
Yeah.
Just trying to
Oh,
Azuka
two
from
down.
Pisto.
Yeah, and they
I
do
mean,
get
check
check
though.
off that. Yeah, they do get check off that with the slosher getting a couple picks there, and them. Oh,
No,
dang! No, they can't lock it down.
Just cannot lock it down. Gino's Slosher trying to take control of mid, doing everything in power to get a counter push going.
All right, Walk is trying to break back into mid here, gain some control, although the Doolies get caught in a bad spot, dying to all of those triple ink strikes. The Sloshers gradually starting to move up in addition to the 10 attack shot there, as Walk is trying to just collapse on the enemy team, although they're unable to stop their push, and unlike Walk's previous attempts, California Rollers is able to actually secure that checkpoint.
Really great stuff from California Rollers. Gino just picking up the double, goes down by the pencil though. Pencil being really dominant in this meta with both teams running it. Very interesting to see the gameplay.
We see a Pisto getting a sneaky pick on the enemy Snipe Rider, who peeked out a bit too far, and while currently setting up with some sodas to move on and try to finally get that checkpoint. We see them starting to poke into the bunker as Walk continues to try to keep building pressure, holding the Rainmaker now. Although we see triple ink strikes coming out from the T-Tech on the side of California Rollers, trying to just stop that push once again as they did previously and also get some more pressure down. They're starting to move up, trying to really kill this push up from the side of Walk, although they still maintain control for now with only their V-Shot being down. You see that Rainmaker reset. Go ahead.
I was just saying that the Roller doing a good job just trying to keep his face and Rainmaker trying to protect it as resets happening. Crab being in action here. Just trying to get good face down mid and poke out the enemies. Strikes from in though.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we do see those ink strikes coming out once again. That has been a really key important piece to California Rollers maintaining their control over mid and halting just Walk's pushes in general. And as you can see, once again, California Rollers are able to collapse on Walk, and they do go down there. However, they do have a pretty strong lead, everything considered, with 23 points remaining on their side. Walk trying to get California Rollers completely out of their space. It seems like they're successful for now as they're pushing them out of their street gradually. Although they still have to regain control of mid and potentially even their right plat as we see one of California Rollers players break into there. Nomopoulos, what are you seeing right now?
Seeing that the Chino Slasher does get down by the pencil player. Very unfortunate. Aquatic Creatures trying to do their best to get a push. Quinn Sluka going shots in on the high ground plat. Hoping to make a push to finally break checkpoint because they didn't do that initially.
And once again, they get stopped! Oh no, oh my goodness. It seems like they might finally get it, and they do. They do get it, although they are currently one down, one coming off a spawn still on the side of the Aquatic Creatures. California Rollers sort of not getting maybe the greatest triple ink strikes off there, although they still maintain a healthy amount of control overall. Oh no, we have 4 seconds remaining.
Doing good stalling for Aquatic Creatures not to get Rainmaker, and that case closes the game.
Yeah, that's our first match on the side of California Rollers taking that win. A very close match overall though, with Walk initially having quite a bit of pressure, although they were kind of struggling to maintain enough control of mid in order to really solidify that checkpoint. It was really unfortunate to see the continued struggle against that, although California Rollers did an excellent job of actually making that happen by allowing them to get that checkpoint down.
Very good tactical moves from California Rollers to secure that victory. All their players did a great job, and with the comp they made was very interesting and cool to see them run it down.
Mm-hmm. So as we move into this next game, kind of wanted to continue to shout out both teams as we had to move into this set particularly quickly. So we were shouting out Walk earlier, who currently has a season record of 1-1, but I think it's also important to shout out California Rollers from the University of California, Berkeley. They currently have a 2-0 season record, so they are really undefeated set-wise so far, which is pretty awesome to see. They had a 4-0 win against Champlain in their week 1, and they had a 4-3 win against RIT Tiger Sharks. They're looking to have a really strong focus on their situational awareness and having strong callouts for their keys to victory. So we can see that has most likely been working out pretty well for them so far with their outstanding performance. But
yeah,
don't doubt Walk as we move forward.
Oh, definitely, because their keys to victory, keeping up the aggression and being able to take key positions, they're definitely underdogs in this. They did have a 4-1 victory against Champlain Seed, so I believe they can make sure California Rollers gets the game on. Let's get the 3-0.
Of course, for sure. Alright, so the match is starting up. Walk is breaking out their Tentabrella as we see them get an early wipeout, which is really incredible for this early in the match. Although it's just too soon where they actually don't have the clam economy on their side. They do get that Tentabrella player out. And we do see them starting to regain a little bit of control of mid here.
Vesco's just playing this really patiently until one of the players aggresses, like with Crab, as here. Now finding trenches gets down by Blaster. Did a really good job of spacing out with the prone bombs, playing super patiently.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. California Rollers is taking like a really great amount of advantage of the just geometry of this map, being able to use those grates as we see on the right of the Chino here. and also just really making use of holding down their shoulder as well. And we see them being able to ultimately get some more control of mid as a result of that and have a good harvest.
He's still throwing down the cooler to get their team ready for counterpush. Gets the enemy pencil and continues to try and move in to get a score from Rainmaker and make some noise for the set.
Yeah, like right here, we really want to see that Tenebrella trying to move up with the rest of the team and get some speed
Breaks the
and
checkpoint.
aggression going. They do get that point, and we see them
Gets
get
another
another
power
ball
plant
in.
Let's go down though.
It seems like that's probably going to be the end of the push.
Chino's still playing this really patiently, trying to get the cooler to go for an aggression, poking out Snipe, and also saving up for strikes for a counter push. The problem is they have low clan economy. But we're doing a good job with the pick as Ring Blaster. Very scary weapon to face against.
Yeah, Clover's range blaster is something to definitely respect. It's able to help them get a lot of fantastic picks on the opposing team, and as we see here, Bulk is doing a fantastic job so far of managing to...
Eska with the flank,
Ooh.
getting 2 down, does not get Crab as he reaches down to the low ground. Trying to
Definitely.
focus throwing bombs. Hoping Eska can make a good approach and take down the bubbler, and they can continue aggression up.
Yeah, so going back to Walt here, we see them trying to avoid the triple ink strikes coming out from the side of California Rollers, trying to maintain control of both the grates and the shoulder here. So far doing a pretty decent job, everything considered. But we do see some weird match lag a little bit here too, at least on my side. Yeah.
No, going to pick up the power clamp, tossing him back. It's not a good position. That's trying to frag out against the pencil. Take down 8 key players, such as back on his front lines. Going. Does he pass it off to the side, sending strikes to the flat. Pick up aggression. Gets the Brella. Can they get the jump?
Yeah, they do get the Brella. The jump, ooh, a little bit tight, but they do get that pick too as well. And they get a power clam in.
To break the basket, but can they put in any more clams to continue up the push? They do one. Could they do more? Walker's doing a good job to defend their territory and press down the push.
Yeah, it looks like they're only going to be able to get a ball and some change in there. Walker doing an amazing job of being able to rotate back to their basket amidst all that chaos. And we already see them starting to push up on the side of California Rollers, that Nautilus getting a pick or two in the process and kind of halting their efforts, although Episto on the back line with that Snipe Rider doing a fantastic job of keeping the California Rollers back.
Actually, so on the Sniper doing a really good job to catch out the flanks, provide cool for teams. Oh, and we see the Trizuku going out to put pressure on mid and for the clamp holder to try to destroy their opening.
Yeah, California Rollers only have so much time now, especially with how far away the baskets are on this map. Roller just steamrolling ahead, trying to make space as quickly as possible, and they might be able to do something with this, although we do see Clover doing an amazing job of defending that basket.
California Rollers was really close to getting this game during overtime. Especially with like the strikes they're putting in, they had the pace there to get a few wipes, potentially wipe out, or a few picks to get a score onto the basket. I worry though with a high pace they're going to do, they'd be too fast and not be cautious enough to take it a bit slow. But it's really hard to make those choices when you're in overtime, especially in Clan Blitz where you're really short on time coming from your side of spawn.
Oh, absolutely. And I think I also want to highlight how much of an important map Robo Ramen in particular is for snipe riders and kind of just long-ranged weapons that can poke like that range blaster, or even kind of the Nautilus even from the side of California Rollers. Having those players in important key positions to get people to back up is an absolute necessity if you're gonna really just take space. And especially with how far back those baskets are, with how they're almost at the opposing spawns, like, you need as much space as you can get.
I most certainly agree with Robo Clams compared to other maps. The baskets are really like far ahead because there's other maps where the baskets are more closer to mid, so it's easier to make aggressive pushes. In this case, it makes overtime more difficult.
For sure, for sure. Alright, so we're moving into game 3 of this set. As you can all see, Walk is 1 and California Rollers is 1. So we have a close set overall. Right now, moving in the Splat Zones, Mahi Mahi Resort. Probably the best map mode when it comes to Mahi Mahi, if you ask me. And I think most people as well. I'm not exactly sure what we're going to see here. I think we might see that Tenebrella from Veckel again. I think we might see the pencils come out again. Or maybe people will choose to, you know, break out something a bit surprising. What are you looking for, Filmopolis? Any ideas?
As I'm brainstorming, I'd say the snipe positions on Mahi are very vital for the backlines to take control of,
Oh, for
to
sure.
continuously paint zone and to catch out enemies. But the thing is, it is kind of weak positions where people sharking on like the ledge can easily take out backlines and easily pressure that space with bombs.
Yeah. No, bombs are also going to be very important here. And we see a pretty familiar comp from the side of California Rollers and also Walk. Not too many changes here from what I can tell. We see the Dooley player from Walk, Electronic, starting to move up, get some paint down with help of Veckel as they start to make a push towards California Rollers. The Dewey's grabbing a pick on the roller, and the shot also going down earlier, and the bucket going down as well.
What I love from the dualies is taking that snipe to put crab pressure on, as Nesca is very much in a pinch, trying to avoid being damaged in a sharpie spot, waiting for an opening, pocket the curling bomb, or a pick.
You see those classic triple link strikes from the side of California Rollers come out as they start to stall the zone and look to take control after Walk's pretty strong early push of 55 remaining points on the board. We do see Clover starting to poke on that right side near that pillow and to get California Rollers' attention as well as they start to get poked by Trizuka. Otto doing a great job of holding the zone down though from the side of California Rollers.
That piece was making a really good attempt to poke out the enemies and to paint zone. And what I noticed right at the beginning of the game, taking extra distance closer to establish more control, to guarantee zone coverage.
Oh, for sure, for sure. And again, I want to highlight these crabs from Electronic too. He's doing an amazing job of being able to get the enemy team to move back and respect his space. Clover almost falling off the edge of the map there, and also getting a pick.
Very good stuff from Clover, and like I was mentioning earlier with that backline spot to be poked at, Clover is doing such a great job with the range blaster, utilizing his weapons and his capabilities to...
For sure, for sure. We see Asper from the side of California Rollers getting that soda out for their team, although there's not enough time on the board for them to really make use of it as Walk takes game number 3 and gets a point over California Rollers as we move forward in the CCA set. Filmopolis, what was a standout moment for you from that set that we should consider moving forward?
Definitely the 1v1 Clover had against the Slosher, almost slipping off the map, because that is a big mental breaker when that happens, especially in a CCA game if you fall off the map. But Clover said, I can't do that. So barely manages to stay on the platform while also winning the fight is just truly amazing. And also doing a great job covering the backline positioning, the snipes at ledge with range blaster, because the AoE on that weapon do numbers.
For sure, for sure. All right, so moving into game 4 here, with this CCA set, we're going to be on tower control, undertow, spillway. We're seeing, I think, a sub coming out from the side of California Rollers, so there's going to be a bit of stuff shaken up as we continue to move forward. I'm looking forward to seeing what they're cooking up here, as we may see a comp change as a result of all that. On the side of We Aquatic Little Creatures, I'm not sure, honestly, what we'll see overall. Yeah, they don't have any subs, so they don't have any major comp changes that they could make necessarily. Veckel on their side is pretty consistent tent user. Electronic's also a pretty consistent dualies user, for instance. So they do have options, although not quite as many potentially as California Rollers. So although they do have a pretty strong amount of aggression that they've been able to show off so far this set, they do have to take into consideration that they will have to keep up with what the enemy team is cooking. Alright, we already see both sides readying up fairly quickly, everything considered. On the side of We Aquatic Little Creatures, they almost readied up immediately, which kind of implies that they might be running a similar comp, but we're going to go ahead and go into this next match and see what we are working with.
With all the modes on Undertow, tower control, I don't favor it as the best, but it is a map that can make some really exciting games, especially with the comps we see from both teams. So I'm really looking forward to this game.
Yeah, the different choke points and just all the different map geometry aspects like really make tower control here particularly interesting. We see Episto already causing a lot and creating a lot of pressure in mid as California Rollers is kind of dashing between his shots he's putting out. Asper also kind of taking up what Episto's been doing and gradually starting to move up themselves as well, as we see that Slosher also back up their push. Camille on the tower as well, starting to move up and create a lot of pressure. Although they do get like 3 gamers from Walk on them too, as we see them start to move up and get their own push going as well.
Yeah, Pisto did a really good job at the beginning trying to get Camille or really putting up that pressure to make it counter push. But we do see Chino win a fight and establish high ground, but good spots to set off strikes. Yep, that is going to happen, causing disturbance in Walk's push.
Yeah, we already see Walk getting past the 40 remaining point mark here, as Chino unfortunately goes down to Episto in mid. Walk taking a short break from the tower in order to regain some control and push California Rollers back onto their platform. We see Electronic solo pushing the tower with the assistance in the back from Episto and Clover and Beckel, as Nesca tries to take back the tower with their roller and get everyone off of it in a very successful manner.
Nesca trying to sneak up onto the Phillies player on Electronic. Fortunately fails. Electronic really playing in a lot of fight while staying on the tower to almost get knocked out earlier. And still continuing to ride tower to put a lot of pressure against California Rollers. Very thrilling, exciting gameplay to see.
Oh, for sure. There's been a lot of like back and forth too, which is exciting to see. California Rollers, like overall maintaining enough control to prevent a knockout, although Walk has also been unable to confirm said knockout. So California Rollers is definitely going to be looking here to get that tower properly moved back to mid and begin their own push against the Aquatic Little Creatures. do
Clover.
see that start to come out, though, on their side as they begin to push back up again. As you were saying, Homopolis.
Yeah, I'll just point out that Clover is doing a really good job at poking enemies, although not being the best way there against Roller. And Asper here is doing a good job just trying to play patient against the other pencil, trying to dodge out the trap while also getting picked and aim for map control, which is for Blues.
Yeah, definitely. We see those triple ink strikes come out again, which have been a huge help in California Rollers being able to quickly regain control of the roller and the bucket here, working together to try to land a couple more picks on the aquatic creatures as a Pisto comes off of the spawn. They're able to finally get some new points on the board as they sort of start to trade out, going in a 3-3 here. Although they also do get a pick on the Aquatic Creatures Blaster player too, I believe.
It's still putting on great pressure to defend the tower for no enemies to ever touch your as long as the whole team is wall. It's putting on a huge rush and trying to push California Rollers back to your spawn.
Definitely. We have just under a minute left of this match too. And California Rollers is starting to kind of crank up the aggression as we see their T-Tech player get a pick there right on their range blaster. Apisto doing a great job of maintaining control of their base as well, and while being able to really work very strongly with that and back up Apisto's plays.
Doing a really good job to put pressure on the pencil, team also for cooler with electronic doing an attempt to play out some aggression. But I believe at the final seconds it's time for California Rollers to make a final push in overtime, try to be safe with staying on tower.
Yeah, they did just pop that bubble to kind of help with that safety, as you were mentioning. Throwing bombs up at the plat too, as well as the triple strike. And
the side
oh, no.
from Beckel. Great job at aggressing, but still gets shut down.
Oh, and it's just the roller up. Oh,
that's
no. Yeah, that is game. All right, and that's another point on the board for We Aquatic Little Creatures, as the set is now 3-1. Wow. California Rollers did an amazing job there in that final push at really cranking up the heat and I guess really showing what they can do and that they can get a really strong push in there too.
I most certainly agree. Chino and Camille both did a really great job in that game, just aggressing and just trying to make some plays to get pushes going. And they had a great push going for overtime, but unfortunately, Walk's shots with the Zuka, the surprise Zuka from the side was just able to shut down the overtime push.
Definitely. We're going to be heading into Game 5 of this set on Rainmaker Crableg Capital. This is game point, or match point 2, by the way, where Walk has the potential to win this week's CCA League set. So the pressure's kind of on for California Rollers. They have to essentially reverse sweep at this point, which is certainly doable. For those of you who have been watching this stream the past hour or so, you did just see a very exciting back and forth set between two Division 3 teams, which was fantastic. Unfortunately, we do have a comm error with the room, so it looks like we might be resetting it all here in just a second, as our lovely producer and streamer Neptune gets that sorted out. So Filmopolis, so based on these past 4 matches, like, we've seen a lot of healthy aggression from both teams. California Rollers doing a great job with their triple ink strikes, for instance, whereas Walk has been able to play very well against their Tent Umbrella player and Pencil player. What do you think we might see in this Rainmaker Crableg Capital match, as they have a lot of very different geometry they have to play around.
It is going to be a different battle with Crab League Capital having a lot of great, which is advantageous for Camille as a slosher to get damage through the grades.
Fantastic point.
Map for backlines. So both teams running pencil is going to be advantageous for both of them. So both pencil players at Pisto and Asper will have to really fight to see who's the better backline to help lead their team into any pushes or supporting defense.
No, I completely agree. I think the triple ink strike pressure, and especially like using the pressure that their slosher player has been able to put out, is going to be very necessary in order for them to lock down a win here. And also just like trying to go for as much of a snowbally push and play as they can. This map in particular can move very quickly with its pushes if a team is coordinated in order and like quick enough in order to make that happen. So I'm looking kind of just for any of that this game as we continue to move forward and get these teams locked in. Something I'd like to quickly highlight is that so far, We Aquatic Little Creatures has played exclusively 4-1 or 1-4 sets so far this CCA season, so I'm kind of interested to see if they can pull off a 4-1 win here, or if they're going to have their first ever Game 6 in a CCA league this season. So yeah, we're going to be moving ahead to this next match and see what both teams got going. And it looks like nothing too different is coming out. We've seen these comps before, although they have been proven to be reliable for both teams.
Yeah, most certainly, we see the pencil fight happening on both backlines as both teams are just trying to struggle and think how to deal with each other's pencils. We sadly do see Kingo going down, and
Ooh, already 2-2. Clover maybe accidentally picking up the Rainmaker, not exactly sure what's going on there, but they're going with it, and they are looking to potentially push up that right grates with electronics pressure, and that goal was kind of relic shield. Although California Rollers totally prevents that from happening with their triple ink strikes, as the Rainmaker carrier here gets pushed back. Nesca on that roller, starting to move up, popping the bubble, creating more pressure along with the pressure that's already coming out from those triple ink strikes, although they're currently 2 down on their side as some of their players begin to come off of respawn.
Boko having a good pick against Nesca. Make an attempt to pop the Rainmaker, as also trying to shark the ledge to get any one-shot picks.
Yeah, for sure. California Rollers is in a pretty good spot right now to at least hit that Rainmaker pop, although Feckel's been doing a fantastic job of popping his Umbrella Shield. Electronic also causing some havoc on the grates on left as he pops his crab, and Camille just trying to paint up for their team as best as they can, although they're constantly having to deal with the different ambushes from each side that Walt is turning out. Although we do see them go 2 down as Pisto picks up the Rainmaker here, looking to at least score maybe a couple more points.
Seems like Wog's doing a great job with the 10th Umbrella Shield to make a push in. Oh, and gets caught by Grates from California Rollers. They have really good momentum going in as California Rollers makes a great attempt to continues to with the strikes going on at mid, pushing Wog further down. You see Clover though at the ledge with the Rain Blaster and in the corners to try to get more picks.
Yeah, they've been doing a great job of overall keeping the California Rollers around their flat, or not being able to get much further than their flat, as as we see Walk once again picking up that Rainmaker and looking to make another push, although California Rollers popping out many more triple ink strikes as Camille begins to move up, although unfortunately gets splatted by the Rainmaker, although they were able to cause enough damage by temporarily delaying their push, and they do go down to a bomb there, it looks like. Chino moving up, popping some more ink strikes, looking to get a pick on Pisto. That's a huge pick, by the way, although they will have to still deal with the rest of Walk as we see Beckel and Clover teaming up in mid here, putting a lot of pressure on Asper, who does get a pick on Clover, and it looks like California Rollers is looking to finally make their first push this game at just under a minute and a half left remaining.
As they try to go to the right checkpoint, they do get caught off the right. It's a very vulnerable and scary position to be in. You have to strategy guys to really make yourself safe. Electronic going on good pressure with the crab, trying to find space to get further. Oh, gets caught by the curly bomb from Nesca. Nesca going to sleep on the wall to try to get damage. He gets one pick. We see another pick. Zuka is going to get shut down. Momentarily 5 strikes.
We do see California Rollers successfully taking out a Walk member here or there, although I don't think we've really seen a single wipeout that they've been able to particularly take advantage of this match. Pisto's set up on that top left grate as they help Walk just keep California Rollers back. He gets into a fight with Asper there, who's also looking to keep Pisto back as much as possible. We do see, once again, though, Walk beginning to take control of their raids as Electronic looks to pop an aggressive grab that may or may not pay off here, as Chino ultimately trades out with them. We have 5 seconds left remaining, with Walk having quite the sizable lead here. Nesca going for that play to try to get some ink on that Rainmaker and maybe pop it, although ultimately this match and set is going to be going to Walk 4-1. And so far, Walk has been able to avoid a Game 6 this CCA season, so props to them, but also props to California Rollers, who had a fantastic showing. They didn't make this easy for Walk at all, and they had quite a few good pushes themselves as well.
Yeah, most certainly they did. I was really glad to see all these games to flourish on into longer business of just all knockouts, to see California Rollers really putting up a fight against Walk and even taking a game off them. Not enough to get to a Game 6. And between these two teams, they put out really fun comps, like they're really fun to watch and enjoyable. Although the both backlines and cooler supports are pencils, although that can be boring to see, I thought it was really interesting set, so there's more opportunity for more frontline slayers to get spotlight to the games.
Oh yeah, I completely agree. As we typically do with the CCA, we are going to be covering a play-all unofficial set, so just to be completely transparent with all the viewers, the score is locked in as you'd expect. It's not going to go past 4-1, although this is also going to serve as great practice for both teams, as this has been a relatively close set overall. So I'm interested to see what California Rollers is going to cook up here in particular, as they've kind of gotten a pretty strong taste of what Walk can serve up to them. So they have the opportunity here to see what they can pull off as well. All right, looks like they're all readied up, and we're going to be heading into our friendlies game 6 here on Clamblet Scorch Gorge. A classic CCA map in Splatoon 3 overall, I would say.
It seems like on both teams, our comps are going to stay the same, because in playoff 7s, there could be the chance where either team or both goof around a bit and practice some more weapons they're not familiar with, but it seems like it's what you get the same concept we did today. Earlier.
Yeah. No, definitely. Although this map and just how you push up on this is so much more different compared to what we've seen previously. So I think we might be able to see California Rollers being able to take advantage of that, as they already have 2 down on the side of Walk, and they're already starting to look to make a push as they're passing around clams and also grabbing clams and taking up that clan economy, as Walk is looking to get set up, although they're kind of struggling a little bit due to the output from the V-Shot players special, although they did go down earlier too.
Beckle just trying to gather clams for an economy, surfacing around mid. Overall, throughout the set, playing the camp. Although we do see Chino get a pick with the aggression from the strikes, tries to shut down Walk from Suzuka. They get a sense off that along with Nesca. Does pick though.
Yeah, that's a very important pick for them to make. Electronic, once again, moving up here, doing what he likes to do, try to flank as best he can, maybe get a pick in the process. We do see one player from the side of California Rollers attempting to instigate a push, although they are unsuccessful. Episto, once again, rotating with ease over to the California Rollers side and starting to poke and really get up in their space.
Fortunately, Atisa does go down to Nesca. Point out great play at mid with the bubbler active. Trying to get teams together to get an economy, and does get Suzuka. Trying to make a further push. Does with suction.
Yeah, very unfortunate suction bomb death there, although a valiant effort indeed. Episto is very strongly set up there, although he does get poked by that Zuka. Not going down to it though, as he pops Soda for his team. Nesca, not being a very big fan of that, is looking to also push Walk and maybe deny them of it.
Duckle just trying to got a closure at mid, using shield to gather up close to the ledges to get some good damage for even in Clover kind of having the same mindset, trying to go for the same strategy with picks. That's still there. And yes, Clover gets Nesca to puts on the wave breaker to continue the push and has a power clam. Although
yeah, very good effort from Clover right there, getting 3 picks gradually and just kind of stalling out. Oh, and getting it another 2.
So many more picks.
A third. Can he get the quad? He might be able to get the quad. He doesn't get the quad, although yeah, Chino denies them of that as they look to try to get more space back from Walk, as Walk also looks like they're trying to push a little bit more into mid and get clams.
Yeah, they kept on good pressure. They continue scoring 4 clams down to score 50. Very great push as to if they only got 1 target to clam it, be wasted.
For sure. We already see California Rollers pushing up on Walk, although Veckel does pop his Inkzuka and getting a couple picks on California Rollers, and just also pushing them back too.
Effort is good to take against Electronic. They're going up, progressing on the ramp, and tries to play really patiently against Veckel's canopy. Takes a trade in. Walking another successful push with Electronic, having a grab on the snipe to get picks since it's known now. California Rollers doing a really effective job against that.
Yeah, we see Walk starting to get more points on the board. They're currently at 25. Electronic going hunting for some more in the meantime, although Clover and Episto are trying to lock down control of California Rollers' basket.
It finally happened.
Oh no, we did see a map fall off. Rest in peace to our friends, but we do see California Rollers pushing back up as we're currently going to go into overtime here. They are in a good spot to get a push off, though, as we see them get 2 down. Feckle.
Great job getting picks, and they got it. And we left for overtime. They just needed to score more planned, although they don't have their confidence though. And that would be it for the game as Walk shuts down California Rollers' push and secures a game.
Definitely. We weren't really able to focus on it too much towards the end there, but California Rollers was able to get down to around 50 remaining points on the board. So despite kind of that gap and Walk still taking that win, California Rollers wasn't that far behind, everything considered. I think if they were able to just get in maybe like one small push towards the beginning of the game and following it up eventually with that last overtime push, they probably would have gotten a pretty decisive win. But yeah, as we move forward into our last game of the night, we're looking at Splat Zone's Hagglefish Market for our Friendlies Game 7. And this, much like a Crab Leg in certain cases, can be quite the snowball-y map, especially when it comes to KOs in particular. Walk is in a pretty strong place overall to get a strong just push and potentially lockout if they want with the support of their Crab and also their Pencil player. Although California Rollers, on the other hand, may have the antidote to that with their consistent triple ink strikes and also Trizukas they've been able to put out. So with the kind of dynamics of this map in mind, it's sort of a toss-up if you ask me.
This will be a game I'm looking really towards to, as Haggle Zones is one of my favorite map modes. And to play in it and to even watch it is very spectacular, because this is a map where teams can take advantage of their opponent's like flat to get really good push in and to continue scoring down points, as it'll be really tough for defending teams to make an opening. Although I believe California Rollers, but I believe in them well to get another game in, because they have the strikes, 2 sets of triple ink strikes to push back in into cap zone. So using that special is going to be really essential to their potential victory.
Definitely. Alright, we have our last match of the night starting up right now. And once again, not that much of a different comp from both teams. Walk kind of pulling their classic tent set, and then also California Rollers pulling out their very strong triple ink strike and pencil set. So we do see the first few seconds here, California Rollers taking strong control of the zone as they begin to try to look to move up, although they're getting stopped by bombs and pressure from the side of Walk so far. That Crab not making anything that much easier for them, but they are able to successfully move back for the most part. Despite everything, they've also maintained control of the zone so far, although we do see it just flip there, although they very quickly take it back as well.
Yeah, great job for Nesca going around on the side to flank and get a pick with the bubble to ensure all the ends. It's gonna be really interesting to see California Rollers running a one strike on side 2. They go with the classic 2 to really focus on strikes for zone. But it seems like them playing Zuka really combats Walks.
Yeah, especially the pencil there in particular. Typically, you want to have a cool Trizuka player poking the glass or tent, or just any snipe spot in general, which has been working out fairly decently for them. Although, we do see Walk beginning to push back again, as they currently have 35 remaining on the clock. Otto getting out some good Trizuka shots here.
And we see Chino setting off strikes for the zone flip and aggressive to leave Walk with only 2 players. Seattle with the pick from against Veckel, and they do manage to flip the zone. And when they get their counter, they definitely take the lead again.
Yeah, and within no time, we're going to see California Rollers getting some more points on the board. Pisto looking to, once again, pressure to support his team, as we see Clover taking an off angle on the right, and the Trizuka also coming off the side of Walt as they currently have the zone in contention.
Clover having a really good wave break to catch on enemies and just to utilize that space at mid just to focus on zone, take practical control of the zone. But we do see California Rollers with just strikes and then playing with their main weapons, trying to do a great job to get zone. But Walk does get instead, although it's still a constant struggle and fight to see who will get the zone. And these two are being very neck and neck against who will get it.
Yeah, definitely. It's a really close game right now overall. We have just under 2 minutes left of the match, and we're only about, I would say, like 15 roughly points apart. I'm not amazing at math, so don't blame me, but we do see Walt get the zone right after that. California Rollers get the zone. As you can see, both teams just dumping as much paint as they can. We got that Sprinkler from California Rollers positioned well, although Walk also has their tent player who can take up a lot of space quickly. The Crab trying to create more pressure, although Electronic is not successful with it in that instance. Bombs getting thrown around, and players getting splatted by them. Nesca with their amazing roller looking to get some more picks, and they do. Although the zone is still flipping back and forth.
Seems like California Rollers have a really good zone out opportunity to zone out Wall and secure a lead as long as they are careful enough. Now let Electronic try to paint over the zone. Electronic throughout this whole set is really good. Perhaps just aggressive pushes. Does get Chin off to the side, just as
Yeah, California Rollers also getting the lead here as the clock continues to tick despite Walk pushing out specials. They do eventually get control of the zone though, although they have to potentially go into overtime here.
Auto getting a pick off of Nesca and doing the best. Who does get a trade with Zuka. We see California Rollers take back of the zone. We see Electronic pull out another
Yeah, the zone, as we mentioned previously, it keeps flipping. There's so much pressure from both teams right now as they're looking with only 10 seconds remaining to get the zone in their control. Walk especially, with them wanting to regain their lead, although California Rollers doesn't want this to go that deeply in overtime, and it doesn't. And that is going to be a second win, although a friendlies win for California Rollers.
Really proud of California Rollers taking this game. I know with the comps they have, they definitely had the tools to utilize to secure the win. But Walk also did a really amazing job, put up a great fight with the usual comps they do to just really put on pressure and they keep on the game lasting longer as they fight for zone control.
For sure, for sure. So that is going to be tonight's CCA League Week 3 set. A very strong showing from Walk, although California Rollers clearly also has quite a bit of power on their side as well. As we kind of wrap things up, I think it's about time that we maybe plug ourselves, Filmopolis.
Okay.
Yeah, so Filmopolis, where can all the good people find you?
My Twitter is at FilmopolisYT. I also have a YouTube channel under Filmopolis Gaming, so hopefully I'll try my best to be a constant with Splatoon related things and content, even stuff about CCA, whether I talk about my experience commentating in it or if I'm playing in it myself.
Great. Yeah, definitely look for that, everyone. And then as for myself, you can find me on Twitter at omazen_monkey. As you can see, there's no Y at the end of that. I like to keep it a little funny. And that's pretty much about it. I do sometimes stream on Twitch, but you may hear about that on Twitter anyways. So that's going to be it for tonight, everyone. Thank you for joining us for this exciting Division 2 set with Walk and California Rollers, and we can't wait to see what they can cook up in the future.